Hey guys, Cool Brick here with some kind of sketchy background and a small MOC, which took me absolutely forever to make, even though it's just a tiny minifig scale vehicle. As you know, I haven't really made anything in like the last year or two, and I actually sat down and made something, and I was like, all right, we're gonna film this because we need to film this. So that's kind of why I don't really have a normal filming area. I do have some nice lighting though, which is good. So anyway, for this car, I wanted to go with something just a little bit like futuristic. So some of the styling choices are a little bit different from the norm. Just give you kind of a 360. Here's another profile shot. And that's obviously the other side. Front's not really particularly interesting. I spent a lot of time trying to get the shaping of the back window just kind of the way I wanted it to, the way I was imagining it to. Still not quite what I wanted, but it's pretty close, so I can't really complain. I tried a lot of different things. I ended up using one of these, I know it's like 2x4. I'm just trying to remember what the height is, because I don't think it's a normal brick height. I think it's like I think it's the same. Well, maybe it is a normal brick height. I think it's this one that's weird. This one's like 1 2/3 of a brick, and then this is I think 2 bricks. But anyway, it's not really very important. But it is a sideways windscreen, and there's this nice long tail light that goes all the way down. I was kind of thinking of something like the Cadillac Escalade type thing. I've always just liked really long sweeping brake lights, so that's kind of what inspired those. You can see there's a little trans orange plate in there, so that's the indicator. And I just used a couple of these modified studs as exhaust tips, which look pretty good. Definitely look better than normal studs in my opinion. And I just used these wheels, which are now becoming much more common in city builds. They have the much nicer profile tire and rim, and they're not all knobbly like the wheels that they used to use all the time. And just a generic kind of vehicle build with the fender parts and one of these prefab vehicle bases. They're just a good thing to start with. But this part in here is very built up, as you can see, so it's not quite the same as the normal vehicle builds, other than the fenders, the base, and then being lazy and using a couple of these wedge elements. I tried a bunch of things for the hood. I didn't like any of them. I ended up just going with the lazy method, which is using one of these pieces. But I did like the way it looked up here, so this one was more of a actually wanting to use this piece, but the hood was just a shameless laziness, and just I probably spent an hour and a half making this thing, which is just stupid for how small it is. I can kind of show you how it's built, if I can get this off with one hand. See, this really goes to show you what being lazy when you film does. It means that you're going to be holding an iPhone with one hand, and you're going to be doing everything else also with one hand, and you're just going to look stupid. And come on, oh yes, there we go. Look at those mad skills, guys. Oh, where did my, oh, that's a bit of the fender that got attached to it. I was like, where did that come from? That's supposed to stay in there. So this is all the sideways stud building, as you can see. I did really want to have like a little bit of extra window and keep it like closed up, so that's why I use these tiles. It does mean I can't put a minifig in there, but again, I just really wanted to change things up from how they usually are. I also made a brick built seat, which, you know, since I was like, okay, I can't even fit a figure in there, might as well just make a kind of nice looking seat. So just very simple parts to just kind of make a seat thing there. And as you can see in the back windscreen, there's just this massive hole. I didn't really know what to do with that hole, so to solve that, I just put one of these sloped elements, and it just makes it a nice little ducktail spoiler type shape, while kind of covering up that hole at the same time. And as you can see, there's just a really tiny little gap, but for the most part, it does a really good job hiding that. So yeah, I somehow managed to talk for 6 minutes about this puny thing. Hopefully this is better than the other videos that I have been not posting, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'll just go ahead and cut this somewhat short. I really need to stop talking to myself while I make videos. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.